AC Universe. I'm your host today, Russ the CEO, and I am kind of hijacking the YouTube channel just for this video. So, I know if you guys have followed this channel for a while, you may not have seen me that often, and that's fine. I first started the channel, but these guys are doing a phenomenal job. So, can we just give a brief hand clap for everybody who works on this YouTube channel? All right. So, the purpose of this video today is for me to actually talk about my reaction to Halo Infinite. Now, if you don't know, I'm actually a huge Halo fanboy. So I literally have played every Halo game. When it comes to playing a first-person shooter, the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth is, okay, let's play Halo. So I do play others as well, play COD, play Battlefield. So I pretty much play everything. I'm pretty much the gaming guy here. In the AAC universe here, other than Jake, of course. But in this case, we're going to solely talk about, my favorite game, my reaction to the recently released E3 multiplayer trailer, and we're going to just talk about a few things that I liked about it. I really don't have any dislikes, so I'll tell you that up front. But we're going to talk about some things, and some of these things might be concerns to some Halo players, but we're going to talk about those and just kind of share my initial thoughts and reactions. So before we get started, I do want to go ahead and shamelessly plug the store. So we are, if you guys don't know, of course, you follow this channel. What is Anime Apparel Company? We are a retailer for officially licensed merchandise, okay? And so our main focus is the community, which is you guys. So we can't do what we do without you guys. And really kind of think of it as the store is just there for you guys to just get really cool merch. It's official. It's a really nice way for you to do that. Everything's going to come to you directly from the US. And, I'll go ahead and throw in my discount code as well. So my discount code is I Met the CEO. So phenomenal. So you guys can enter that discount code and get 20% off your purchase. So off your total order. So that's amazing there. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay. So E3, which was just recently, they just went ahead and their 343 Industries went ahead and actually released gameplay of the actual multiplayer experience. So they released a trailer, like a campaign trailer, of course, which some Halo players, even like myself, are like, okay, great, a continuation of the story, phenomenal. Okay, where's the multiplayer? That's really what that's what we came to see here today. I mean, we love Chief's story. I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. I do want to see how that story progresses, but I was mainly concerned about the gameplay, and mainly a few things. I was concerned about, for one, the gunplay. Are we going to still keep Halo 5's movement, or are we going all the way back to like Halo CE's, movement necessarily? No matter how you feel about it, good or bad, those are the things I was concerned about. Like, are we going back to Halo movement, or is it going to be more of a combination of Halo reach, basically? What are we doing? And honestly, I feel like the initial trailer really did deliver, in my opinion. I thought it was phenomenal. I'm literally watching it and I'm just excited. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I want to use that gun. Cool. I want to do that. That is amazing. What is, so I was super excited. Trust me. I spoke to my wife about it, told her how excited I was. And she's literally looking at me like, I married a nerd. So a few things I liked about it initially when watching. I'm not just going to solely gush over the trailer, but these are some things that I did enjoy about it. So one of the first things I would say that I was really concerned, and I really like what they're doing with this game so far, is the movement. So say what you will, but I personally loved Halo 5's movement. I know that that's a division in the community. I know people loved it. People hated it. Some people thought it just completely broke the game, but I personally loved it. Halo 5 was actually one of my favorite games in the series. Halo 5, second to that. I played Reach very well. And then after that, I would say it was probably Halo 3, Halo 2. So that's pretty much where I kind of stand with the series there. And now we can always discuss something like that in future videos, things like that. Don't at me. So, but personally, the movement was my biggest concern. I was like, okay, so what are we going to do? I knew that they were going to remove, like, we weren't going to get, the thrusters and all that. So I knew we weren't going to get that like we had in Halo 5. But I was like, are we going to completely revert back to no sprint and say what you want? I knew that Halo had to have sprint, and I was like, there's no way I'm playing a Halo game and we I got to walk across the map, this big tank walking across the map forever. I was like, that's kind of outdated to me personally. I wanted us to have sprint, and I'm glad we have it. Now, one thing I will notice is it does look like it's kind of a bridge, the way the gameplay is sorting out. When you watch the footage, people aren't sprinting everywhere. And I thought about it, even when I played Halo 5, I didn't sprint everywhere. Basically you sprint for a little bit. You find out, you basically find good map position. And that's kind of where Halo was for me on a multiplayer. The experience is Halo really is about, the multiplayer experience is about being strategic. It's about map position, and it's always about outsmarting your opponent, and it's about fair starts. And so far, everything in the trailer looks like we're going to get exactly that. So it does look like it is going to be, I think it's really going to bridge the gap that we have with this divide in the community between Halo 5 fans and fans of the classic Halo. So I really think that with the movement, I think it's a nice way to bridge the gap. We don't have all those extra thruster packs and everything else is gone there, but it looks like we are still keeping sprint, and we could be wrong. This is just the initial trailer. I'm sure they're going to have more when the game releases this holiday season. So at least for right now, it looks like movement is going to be basically a bridge between the two. The next thing is the gunplay, which, again, I love Halo 5's gunplay, and I literally was thinking, okay, well, this game is going to be a hit for me as long as we keep Halo 5's gunplay. And one example I will say of this, even before we kind of go into Halo Infinite, is if you play Halo 5 has a mode that kind of comes, it's more or less, it comes every now and again, it's a playlist, but it's kind of like the classic Halo playlist in Halo 5. And that's how I pictured Halo Infinite was going to be. So basically, picture Halo 5, so Halo 5's gunplay. No real changes, at least so far, to the gunplay, but you basically have the classic Halo movement. And when you play this mode, it actually plays insanely well. I loved it. So when I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, well, I kind of would be okay if they went back to classic Halo. That was my initial thoughts when I played it. And it looks like Halo Infinite is kind of I think they kind of pick that up from players basically, and so that's really what we're gonna get there. But the gunplay itself looks like Halo 5. Looks like things are basically going to be improved upon. Of course, the assault rifle looks great. I'm not necessarily sure how I feel at this point about the battle rifle. I love that game, love that gun when it is in Halo 5, but I don't know if I like it necessarily being like a main kind of a main gun there. And that's one of the things I didn't see there. I didn't see the Magnum, which in Halo 5, we pretty much maxed out that Magnum as players. So it's very interesting just to see, like, once they give us a little bit more about the different type of playlists they have, things like that. I'm curious to know what all guns we're going to use. I'm really excited to use some of these Halo Infinite weapons that I've seen too. So some of these banished weapons, I'm really excited to use as well. So, but I do love it so far. All the weapons look great. Like I said, it basically looks like it's going to play like Halo. The other thing is the actual zoom. So I don't know if you guys noticed in the trailer, but this zoom that we have in Halo 5 looks like it's completely gone in Halo Infinite, at least from what I've seen. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and probably one of the last things we'll talk about, is the no red versus blue. That's one thing I see in the community everyone's talking about. There was no red versus blue. It looks like basically when players are shot instead, or as players kind of walk in front of you, like, you'll still be able to know who your team is. But there's no, in Halo for the longest time, there's always been that red versus blue. It doesn't matter what armor you have, what customization you have, what skin you have. When you go into certain modes where it's kind of player versus player, you're going to basically have, you're going to be either red or blue team. That's been a staple of Halo. And honestly, I don't feel bad at all if this is a feature that's completely gone, because this could just be one game mode that they're showing basically just for the trailer. But I did hear a theory that the reason for this or reason people think this is happening is because Halo Infinite is going to be free to play, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. It basically, there is no price cap there, or basically no price entry point. I have tried my darndest to bring in my friends from that basically play COD and play other games and bring them into Halo, especially guys that are competitive. I'm like, hey, you're probably really going to like Halo, but if there's that price, that basically that entry level price, people definitely, a game that they don't know a lot of people playing, let's be honest, they didn't want to necessarily pay $50-$60 to try a game out. But the free to play basically breaks that mode, and it seems like those types of games are a lot more successful in the long term. People just want to jump in and just basically play multiplayer. So really, I love it. I think it's actually good long term for the actual Halo franchise, because it just allows really anybody to join in and play Halo. So anybody can join, anybody can play, kids, adults, whoever. People can just jump in and enjoy this game that long-term Halo fans have been fans for a decade now. Now everybody can basically jump in and just go ahead and just play. So I think that's phenomenal. But with that, the other portion of that is, so now the armor customization and skins are going to be a thing. And personally, I hope we do not have any crazy, wacky, ridiculous skins. But at the same time, that's probably going to happen because, again, a lot of this stuff with the free-to-play models, though, is people like that. They want to be able to customize their character. They want to be able to customize everything. I love that you can customize your character. You'll still be able to customize like your not necessarily customized, but you'll be able to add skins to like your weapons, of course. I do like the fact that some skins are unlockable solely through gameplay, and I think you still got to have that with Halo, because as Halo fans, we like to brag amongst each other too, so I think if I've accomplished something in multiplayer, or I've accomplished, I've actually beat the campaign on Legendary, give me a freaking helmet, give me a freaking skin, something that actually gives me some bragging rights, and I love that. And it was the same thing, I know, in pretty much all the Halos have had that in multiplayer. There's always been a skin or been a helmet, been something basically that you can have that you could only achieve through hard work alone. And it really is a staple. It's basically, when you see a player with that, we know in multiplayer to run, just completely run the other way, run the other direction. So I'm glad they're doing that. I have no qualms with them monetizing the game in this way. I have no issues with it whatsoever. So, if you disagree, I'm open to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. But personally, I really do, it does not bother me one bit. I know that developers have to make their money somehow. So if the game's going to be free to play, everyone's going to join. Again, how do we expect developers to make money? How are they supposed to make money? And it's kind of a whole nother debate there, a whole nother video of how much should they make, what's fair. Personally, guys, hey, I don't care. They got to pay the developers. As a business owner myself, I totally understand. You got to pay people. So at the end of the day, I actually have no problem with it. I will most likely be buying skins, especially if they make a cool one. We have the skins, and then we also have the second portion of it, which is the announcers. So with the new announcers, I really hope that one thing they had in Halo 5 is they had the different packs where they had the announcers. So I personally use, like, Buck was one of my favorites, so I would use him. But I hope they bring that back to some degree, and I hope we get a lot more announcers this time that we can do. I hope there's announcers, again, we can pay for, that are actually from the series. If they had a Master Chief announcer, I am telling you, I don't care how much it cost. I would literally, I would drop everything to get a Master Chief announcer. I literally would. It would be phenomenal. In fact, I'd probably even pay for a Spartan Locke announcer just for the fact. So if it came in a pack with Master Chief and Spartan Locke, I wouldn't want Spartan Locke, but Master Chief. So what am I gonna do? Say no? So anyway, if I'm okay with the monetizing the game, I'm okay with skins. I would say one thing I really wasn't too big of a fan of is like the skins on the vehicles, but I've never been a fan of this. I just haven't. But hey, it's not They didn't make the game solely for me. So if you enjoy it, that's phenomenal. Okay. All right, guys. So that's completely it for the video today. I really want to hear your thoughts on Halo Infinite. If you're going to be playing Halo Infinite when it comes out, I'm excited for that. I'd even love to play that game with you guys. So, definitely comment below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Will you be playing it? Will you not? Are you going to be playing something else? Or something else in E3 that you'd like for me to talk about? I'm totally open to it, guys. Thank you guys again for following this channel, subscribing, and joining the AAC universe. And you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'm out.